stage, still chasing that first knockout appearance, have just missed a gilt-edged chance to give themselves a real hope and put themselves in a wonderful position. That will also be celebrated by the likes of Algeria, South Korea, Scotland and Croatia. Uruguay cannot go through. They are out with their 2 points. They lost to Spain. It sent them home. A huge upset with Cape Verde going through. It now means there's only really 3 teams that can find their way into the top 8, and that's Algeria, DR Congo and Scotland. And even Iran as well, if they can find a result here inside the area. Chance turning on the right, going for goal, and another superb save. They'll come back out, and then it's tucked away, and the instant reply and redemption for Iran. Iran answer back. Team Melli steady the storm and silence the danger. They're back level in Seattle. That penalty miss goes answered by Team Melli, and they've turned that turbulence into tournament steel, and that reverberates around the group and around the World Cup. And this is a game that we have on here. It's Egypt 1, Iran 1, and what a finish from the tight angle. It was well worked in from the left-hand side. It was beautifully taken on to the right from a short. Just drove towards the centre of the goal. It's then... by Ezatulahi. It's then come back on the right-hand side. And Rezain has tucked it away. And it might be a check. We're offside on this near side. It came out towards Mohammadi, who took it down, drove it inside the box after the pass from Mehebi, tried to take it onto the right for Chabert into a fine save down to his left-hand side, but all he could do was push it into danger. Was push it into the Iranian right back. It's just chaos here. It's chaos on the commentaries. And from a tight angle, what a superb finish. The sliding tackle was coming in from Fratou, but he couldn't get anywhere near it. And Razani just puts it into the roof of the net. And inside the opening 15 minutes, it's Egypt 1, Iran 1. And what a game we have on here. And the tight angle after the Mohammadi shot from the edge of the box. The goalkeeper probably disappointed with that. There has been a change already made for Egypt as well, as they've had to bring on Yasser Ibrahim for Abdelmonim. The Al Ali man, the late blooming defender with a habit for important headers, including in the World Cup headlines and the AFCON knockout drama that we saw back in January, makes his way on. And Mohamed Abdelmonim, who plies his trade in France, injured earlier on in this game. The former attacker turned centre-back has had to come off and sits out, and he's just sat on the side with his head against the billboards. No, it's not a billboard. What would you call it? The hoardings on the outside, the advertising hoardings. As a corner goes Egypt's way, Salah takes it quickly and pushes it towards the edge of the penalty area. Down the right-hand side again. Opportunity to cross it into the box on the near side from Ashore, and it goes out towards Zico, who just drags a shot wide and can't quite get it on target. And this early start is frantic, being watched by the president of the competition, who he won't give too much praise to in any sense of the imagination. But here comes Iran once again, trying to turn this game on its head early doors. That goal for Egypt in the opening stage of this game really gave Iran a kick up the backside, woke them up. They have an early answer as well. Make sure you're watching the game through your local network provider. Listen to the sounds through ourselves watch the pictures through your provider, because this is something you want to see and hear at the same time. It's again down towards Mohammadi in that back five, but playing a much, much higher wing-back role on this occasion, playing so high up the pitch. The ball comes back in towards the goal scorer, Saber, who just gets taken out inside his own half by Gordani. And the free kick goes the way of Egypt. And then a long ball over the top looking for Mohamed Salah, who just can't quite get things. He doesn't have the pace that he used to have, Mo Salah. The 34-year-old, still technically with Liverpool until the first of the month. There's huge rumours he could be joining the MLS. The door has been opened for him, for the Egyptian king. He's chasing Hussam Hassan's national record, the coach for the national team. He scored and assisted against New Zealand. There's a late tackle, goes in on Zico. Mike Hernani, and he goes into the referee's book. And this is an exciting game earlier on. It's frantic. It's not like the games we saw earlier on with both sides being tepid. They know that this game has everything. I think New Zealand and Belgium are just going to sit and wait to see what happens in this more than anything. Mo Salah darting, trying to dance past one, but can't, just dive down to the right-hand side as he looked towards the byline to put it across, loses the ball. Cleared out towards the halfway line, but then just knocked down by Ibrahim, who gets one of his first touches. I don't think he was expecting to be back on the pitch too soon. He was replaced for this game. And then a free kick goes Iran's way, 10 yards inside, and the referee bringing out a yellow card for Saber again. And all of a sudden we're having plenty of bookings earlier on as the referee tries to keep this contest under his control. It's a bit of a loose challenge, a loose ball in towards the middle. And as he tried to get the ball, he just left the footing on Azatullahi. Did Saber. And he goes into the referee's book. Iran trying to swing it down the right-hand side. The right idea, but not quite the right outcome. And goes out for the goal kick, looking for the goal scorer. So as it stands, Egypt still in first on 5 points. Iran back into second on 3. Belgium sitting behind them on 3 points as well. That'll come down to goal difference. Sorry, goals scored if it remains that way after they drew 0-0 last time out between those two sides. Then New Zealand in fourth on 2 points. The New Zealand goal would put both Iran and Belgium out of that second spot. As the ball goes down the left-hand side for Egypt, and they're going to win a corner kick again, this time from the far side of the pitch. It's going to be Shaw who takes it, plays it towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It just can't quite settle down enough for Trezeguet, who was trying to just muscle off Kalazadahi at the back. It's come back out to the far left-hand side of the box. Drawn a little bit more in towards the middle. Space just opens up for a shot, but it's dragged high, wide, and over the top of the bar, but takes a deflection on the way through. It was Hani who had the strike. He took it on his right. Just took one touch, opened up his body, and then just flicks off the top of the head of Ezatalahi, who was stood on the edge of his penalty area. There's a VAR check going on in the game between New Zealand and Belgium. I'll keep you up to date with what goes on there. Remember, VAR checks also do happen with corner kicks as well, but when that comes through, we'll keep you up to date. But the corner kick floated in from the near side into the edge of the 6-yard box, but dealt with well. Bounces once, twice, and then just hacked high in towards the air. The keeper flaps onto it underneath, just palms it away. Mohamed Salah puts it back in towards the box, clear back out, and then a wonderful overhead kick from the edge of the area gets rid of the ball for Iran. But for a moment, the danger was lurking. It was Khalizadeh who got his feet all in a muddle, almost put it directly into his own goal, put Biran Van under all sorts of pressure on the edge of his box, and it's a penalty that's being checked for Belgium. Again, I'll keep you up to date about whether it's given or not, and what the outcome will be there. Well, that will be found out here in a moment. About whether that goes in. Belgium, who have been the far better side in that game. They've had all the pressure, all the momentum inside the first half of this first half here. It's been wonderful end-to-end football, and it has been not given, I don't believe. It's a no penalty for Belgium. It was Trossard, the man that went down inside the box. But VAR have decided no penalty there, and we'll finally get a bit of a breather in this game as well. It's the first hydration break, and both of these two sides giving it everything. They know what this means. Egypt haven't been to the knockouts since 1934, when it was a knockout-only competition. They've been in the tournament in 2018, 1990. They were the first African and Arab world side in that 1934 competition. They didn't make it in 1930 because of a storm. After they were leaving, they got caught in Marseille. If you ever want to have an interesting competition story of pure chaos, have a look about that 1930 tournament. Some teams turned up, some turned up a week later and missed the entire competition. But it is a wonderfully interesting story. Iran themselves, they've been here 6 times before. This is their 7th, still chasing that first knockout appearance. 78, 98, 06, 14, 18, 22 and now 26. They've been in 4 of the last 6 competitions. They've never won more than once in this major competition. They haven't got the 3 points this time around just yet, but a win would send them through. Egypt home to more than 100 million people. It carries one of the most emotionally charged football cultures in Africa and the Arab world. They won the African Cup of Nations more time than any other country, but this tournament has historically been their missing stage. Iran's Team Melli are one of Asia's most consistent qualifiers and have a large visible diaspora following in the United States, especially on the West Coast. They won 3 straight Asian Cups from 1968 to 1976, but the modern major tournament breakthrough, that knockout place we keep mentioning, has remained just out of reach. As the frantic game of the opening 25 minutes goes on, so does the voice a little bit, so I'll take my own brief hydration break. With the Polish referee Zizmon Marcinak is one of the biggest names currently in world football, not quite to the level of Kulina, who was really a sensational referee. If you never grew up with him as a referee, he could command a pitch more than anybody else. He just commanded respect every single time he entered the pitch. You never saw the arguing with him, and he was also a terrifying looking fellow as well. But I did have once the chance to meet him many years ago. I was very young, but even then quite intimidated by him. It made me want to become a referee when I was about 13, 14. I did it for about a year as we're back underway after the hydration break. 26 and a half minutes gone in this game, 1-1 between these two sides. Did it for about a year. That was over in England, and doing Sunday League football in England is not for the faint-hearted, particularly in the area I grew up in. You give a penalty away, you get threatened of violence and various other things that they would say that they would do. It was a very interesting time, but for a 15, 16-year-old getting into the game at that sort of point, because let's be honest, I wasn't very good at the sport itself. Hence the reason I'm doing the commentary and not playing at any sort of level. It was quite an eye-opener. And here we are. Egypt 1, Iran 1. Those third place sides, Ecuador, Sweden, Bosnia, Paraguay and Senegal, have now all qualified because of the results that have gone on so far. Senegal's win earlier on, that 5-0 win, to give themselves the goal difference and put themselves into that 5th spot of the 8 third place best teams, has been enough. The long ball goes over the top but goes out for a goal kick to Iran away to our right hand side. And the game just tries to warm up a little bit after that hydration break, ironically. So the 3 spots remaining. As it stands, Belgium occupy that 6th spot, Croatia 7th, South Korea 8th. Sitting outside is Algeria, who are still to play against Austria. Scotland can't play anymore. They could still get there if results do go their way. But over in the game between New Zealand and Belgium, there has been a goal. Trossard denied a penalty just before the hydration break. Well, he has given Belgium the lead, and that changes things in this game as well. Group G is now completely wide open. Belgium occupying 2nd spot. They go through automatically now as it stands. Iran in 3rd place. They would still go through in that 3rd place position. They've just swapped positions. It changes who they might face in the next round. Whoever finishes 2nd in this group goes away and plays Australia in the next round. A real opportunity to make the round of 16 for whoever finishes 2nd. Top of Group G. Well, they might find it a little bit different as well. They'll play one of the many 3rd place teams on the 1st of July. The teams that we know are through already. We know the games, sides that we know confirmed where they're going to be confirmed. Germany will definitely be playing against Paraguay. France, Sweden, South Africa, Canada, Netherlands, Morocco. We don't know who Spain are going to play. They'll play 2nd team in Group J, which as it stands is currently Austria. 2nd in K, plays 2nd in L as well, which at the minute is Portugal against Ghana. Well, DR Congo might have a say in that as they've got a game against Uzbekistan coming up as well. USA will play Bosnia and Herzegovina after their win to go through to the knockouts for the first time ever. It's a real tale of the tape is this tournament. Brazil, Japan, another really exciting one. Brazil were winners in Japan and South Korea in 2002. Not quite the same. Don't have the Iños anymore in the side, or the Does. No, Rivaldo, Ronaldo, the best of the Ronaldos, I should add. Ronaldinho, Rivaldo. It's just missing those names, especially up front since they won. They've just never had a really good striker since. And when your best front man is Igor Thiago in that number 9, it certainly asks questions. Ivory Coast will play Norway. Mexico will play a 3rd place team, we know that. Argentina against Cape Verde. Australia await Group G's 2nd place here. And Switzerland also confirmed in their spot, but we don't know where they will play or who they will play just yet either. You can keep a tabs, you can get your calculators out. It's all a little bit chaotic. It's not like normal where we know who's going to play who. 1st against 2nd, it becomes a little bit chaotic, and 2 2nd place teams can play each other as well in the next round, because there are 32 of the 48 going through, which means that eventuality has to take place. 1-1 though here after 2 goals inside the opening 15 minutes. Iran fell behind inside the opening 5 minutes, then missed the penalty before levelling it up. And down the right hand side, Egypt just trying to get the ball down the right hand channel. It's been a little bit slow since the hydration break, but it's Egypt just trying to get themselves on top, but can't quite get the cross into the box, and goes out for a goal kick. 12 and a half minutes before half time. This wonderful stadium here in Seattle. It was built for noise for the Seahawks and the Sounders. Converted to a grass surface as well for this tournament. There's plenty of conversation around the various turfs that have been put in America particularly. Mexico don't use artificial turf for their sports. And Canada. There's really been any controversy between Mexico and Canada before the start of this competition. America's taken it all. If you ask an American, they'll say every tournament should be given to America. They have had the biggest crowds ever in this competition, but that is simply because there are more games taking place. And they do have some big stadiums as well. It's also been in the Azteca, which has had the highest ever attendance in world football. It's where the final should be, at the Azteca. Mexico have only ever lost twice at that ground. And that was against Honduras and Costa Rica, and that's in 60 years. As an Englishman, that's a potential game going forward. I also worry about when it comes out to the edge of their area, but a snapshot from Madazayan puts it high wide and not very handsome over the top of the bar. And as the ground shows the current standings in Group G, it's Iran who have to wake themselves up a little bit. But it also means that if Iran do score, then it puts Egypt into third place in the group as well. This table in this group can chop and change at any point, at any time. The only side that can't win the league is New Zealand, because they can't go above Egypt after that 3-1 Egypt win against the oceanic country. Beautiful country. Spent my honeymoon there for a couple of weeks with the wife. Absolutely incredible driving up and down New Zealand. Never been to either of these two places. I think it's with plenty of history. The pyramids, the Sphinx, Tutankhamun's tomb, and many other incredible sites. Iran also with some wonderful history. Centuries old, as they give away a free kick though in the middle of the park, and it won't really help either side. Their histories on the world stage, or their histories in this competition either. One of these sides is surely will make it through to the next round and will end what has been many, many, many years of hurt. But on a knife edge at the minute, as it stands, both are still going through. If Belgium get another one or two, then it may just be an agreement between the sides here that a draw is enough. But the way this game is being played, neither side settling for it. Both want to get themselves into the top two. They want to have a better route, going in with the lure of Australia in second place, winning the group, puts you against the third place team from either A, E, H, I or J, which at the minute is South Korea, Ecuador, Uruguay certainly won't be going through, so H is out. Senegal is also an option as well, and potentially Algeria. So there are some options, and it seems finishing second is certainly a better option for some than potentially finishing first in this group as well. So there is plenty on offer, and third place could also play against Switzerland. I think that is where they would be placed if you finish third now in this group, because of the other outcomes. Just trying to get the calculator out and work out eventualities. So top spot in this group seems to have a disservice compared to finishing second place. That seems to be the better option. But as it stands, it's Belgium occupying second, Iran in third. I think neither side will really care where they finish as long as they can get through. Here come Egypt on the edge of the penalty area, but a superb tackle goes in, and Iran are able to clear the line. 7.5 minutes then to go before half-time, and after that really frantic start, both sides just managed to settle themselves down in the game, but neither side really able to get control of it. As a free kick goes Egypt's way, halfway inside their own half, just hugging the far touchline. And the nerves will start to creep in as this game continues. It's the third meeting between the sides at senior level. The most recent was in the year 2000. A 1-1 draw in which Egypt ended up winning 8-7 on penalties in an LG Cup game. It's their first meeting in the finals, and a rare competitive collision between two nations with very heavy regional football identities. Well, here come Egypt down the left-hand side, just play it off the Iranian defender Rezaian, and out for a corner kick, and Egypt just trying to turn up the notch at the end of this first half to try and find a way to cement themselves at the top of the group standings. They'll take their time to load up the box, but the reinforcements do make their way in. Standing over the corner is Ajour. 3 runners go toward the near post, 2 towards the back. It aims towards the near post, but dealt with by the Iranian defence. It's just going to be hooked back in towards the box, but cleared down the second attempt, and then a snapshot comes in on the edge of the penalty area from Zico. He just couldn't quite line it up and just drags it well wide. Sorry, from Saber, just drags it well wide up the right-hand post, and with more of it, the pressure that came in from the Iranians just closed him down ever so quickly. It fell to and Saber. He only broke into the international side in 2024, has already made 16-17 appearances now for Egypt. As his trade in Egypt with Pyramids and Zed. 3 other players, Lachine and Zico, also play for Pyramids in Egypt, as well as Hafez, who is on the bench. He's been sent down the right-hand side as Egypt continue to come with Hani. Can't quite get his touch right, and he just played it first time in towards the box, but easily defended again from Iran. The second ball falling on the edge of the Iranian half, just going to be putting hope more than expectation deep inside the Egyptian half. Then Egypt will just turn fire with a little bit of tennis going on between both of these two players. Mohamed Salah will then try and control the game and get it down to feet. Plays it nicely down towards the right-hand side, just tries to flip it back in. Here's Ajour, but it's a bit too close towards the goalkeeper. Beravan, the Ronaldo penalty stopper from 2018. Under scrutiny, but still Iran's most famous goalkeeping story. In his 87th appearance, a 33-year-old plays for Tractor. Of all sides, back out towards the edge of the area. Mohamed Salah is just stopped, comes back out, and then a shot from Trezeguet, blocked almost about a yard in front of him. Hit it with plenty of power, but straight at the Iranian wall that Egypt are struggling to get through over the last couple of minutes or so. 4 minutes to go inside this first half. Still 1-0 to Belgium in their game against the Whitecaps. Iran trying to win it inside the Egyptian half, and they have won it, and the referee gives a booking as well, and it looked a little bit harsh. I thought the free kick was going to go Egypt's way. It was the man who came on, Ibrahim, who just stepped across. He won the ball ahead of Taremi, and then just came in with a shoulder charge on Ezatullahi and goes into the referee's book. And Egyptian coach Sam Hassan furious with the referee there, remonstrating. The 4th official, I'm not too sure it was a booking. It certainly looked like a foul on second viewing. He did come a little bit later and just checked. Ezatullahi, with Iran go backwards with the free kick inside their own half. Now just trying to drive down the left-hand side, but Egypt keeping hold of that shape, forcing Iran back into their own space away to our right-hand side. Now they're going to try and look and go over the top towards the ever-progressive Mahamadi down the left-hand side, who ends up being a little bit too progressed up the pitch as a linesman's flag goes up on the opposite side of the pitch. 2.5 minutes then, plus any time to be added on, of which we'll have a couple of minutes added on as they start to show some people in the stands here in the grounds. It's what we have seen a number of times during this tournament. Those that control the cameras show various American celebrities, and if I'm honest, no idea who 99% of them are, as Mohamed Salah races down the right hand side and draws in the foul, and another booking comes out, and the free kick goes Egypt's way about 5-6 yards off the right hand corner of the penalty areas. Ali, who's gone into the book, Nemeti, and it's the fourth booking of this first half from the referee. He's trying to keep control of the game. It is a little bit frantic, but Nemeti just coming in a little bit late on Mohamed Salah, just slowing him down, and they just moved the ball back a couple of yards as well, Egypt, just to try and open up the space. The Shaw and Salah both stand over it. Shaw leaves it. Salah goes short, flicks it around the corner to Shaw, but what defending that is. Read like a book. That is beautiful defending from Iran. It was a bit of trickery off the training ground from Egypt. From Salah, laid it to the edge of the penalty area. Shaw, who walked away from the free kick, started then making a run down the right hand side of the penalty area, but intercepted beautifully from the man that was just booked, Nemeti, with a lovely sliding interception to clear the Iranian lines and to stop Egypt having a shot on goal. Beradvand in the net, and Nemeti, who's a versatile defender, he nearly quit after injury. He's helped pay prisoners' debts before as well inside his own country. To show some compassion. And on that occasion, he showed absolutely none to that Egypt free kick. Ruthless defending as Mohamed Salah almost loses the ball inside his own half. Manages to wriggle away free and plays it across towards the left-hand side, and it was Rabi who was chasing it. And it was Mohamed, who was trying to chase him down and almost caught him inside his own box. Then the long ball that went towards Trezeguet on the edge of the area, he's just taken out by Rezaian, the goal scorer for Iran, and the referee on this occasion giving nothing against the Iranian fullback. And I think of all the fouls that he has given, I think that's probably the most obvious one that probably should have been given for Egypt, as 45 minutes comes up on the clock. Still 1-1 between these two sides. 5 minutes added on by the fourth official just down in front of us. Nothing to separate these two sides as it stands. Both will be going through to the knockout stages. Taremi, who missed the penalty, putting some pressure down the left-hand side and wins a throw-in for his side as well. And he can line up the long throw as he now makes his way into the box. He's got 59 goals for his country in 106 appearances now. The Iranian captain is Puskas, nominated as well for his bicycle kick. The all-time Iranian scorer. Had one ruled out against Belgium, and then the penalty miss as well today. Ali takes a throw in short, down towards the right-hand side, in towards Godos, who floats one towards the far side of the box. The keeper comes out for it, and the header just wide of the right-hand post, and hands on heads for Khalil Zadeh Zubir, who saved the penalty. Just supermaned out of his area, flapped at it. It was a well-worked throw-in on this near side. Linking up nicely was Ali and Godos, and it was the former who put the ball into the box. The keeper comes out, gets none of the ball, punches Khalil Zadeh in the side of the head, and the centre half just watched as the slowest header just trickled wide of the right hand post, and he got up with his hands on his head. He could not believe how close of an opportunity that was for Iran to take the lead at the end of this first half. 3 minutes of stoppage time still to play. Remember, you can watch the remainder of the first half and the second half through your local network providers. We'll bring the sounds while they bring the pictures. There's all to play for in the second half. As it stands, both sides are going through. Iran in third and Egypt in first, with Belgium still leading against New Zealand by a 1-0. New Zealand, who only lost their first ever, their first World Cup, their first major tournament goal in 40 years against Egypt last time out, are on the brink. Not quite on the brink, they're still 45 minutes away, but are heading towards their second in the space of 5 days. And just like buses back home in England, once one arrives, so does a second after waiting so long for the first. As Egypt have the ball. 2 minutes then to go before the half-time whistle. Floated down the right-hand side, knocked in towards the area. Nice little cushion header back down the right-hand side in towards Hani, who goes down. Tries to protest towards the referee, having nothing of it. Salah picks up the loose ball, brings it back out towards Lachine. Moves it back down towards Mohamed Salah. Level with the edge of the Iranian penalty area, just hugging the near touchline. His pass in towards the middle, though, is intercepted. And then Taremi taken out off the ball. The referee happy with that one as well. And after a couple of yellow cards for innocuous tackles, he's allowing a little bit more to go on now with 90 seconds to go. Egypt just trying to swing momentum into their favour at the end of this first 45 minutes. Over on the far side of the pitch. Then trying to bring it in towards Salah. Looked to go left, decided to go right instead. Bringing Lachine back into play and continues to cross towards Hani down the right-hand side. First time cross taken out by the first Iranian man, but then the second clearance is a poor one and picked up by Hani once again. Space starting to open up towards the left-hand side, but there's going to be a long-range effort from Saber instead, who went for goal and instead found Rosed with his attempt. And that will just draw the time down closer and closer to the half-time whistle here in Seattle. The old song is, what have you done today to make yourself feel proud on Pride Day here in Seattle? And both of these two sides can be proud of their first half. They've given it their all. They're trying to both win it. And as it stands, both are going through. But with 30 seconds left, it looks like it will be parity at the half. But Iran with a throw-in on the halfway line. Sent in towards Taremi. Can't quite get the flick on, but it's sent then in towards the Egyptian penalty area by Hani, who's playing a little bit more of a deeper role. The clearance out from the centre half. Ibrahim isn't a great one, and he's just given away on the near side. A little bit of defending that's got to do as Moehebi tries to pick up the loose ball, goes out for a throw. That is the 5 minutes up if the referee's going to allow the throw to be taken. They need to get on with it quickly. We saw it in the Champions League final in Europe between PSG and Arsenal, right at the end of the half, where they took too long to take a corner, Arsenal, and the referee blew for half-time, and they're going to really have to hurry this one up. It's the Mehdi who races over to take the long throw, bounces it once. He's got his eye on someone in the box, the referee. He's now happy for the throw to come in from the near side, level with the edge of the Egyptian penalty area. This is the last opportunity of the half. It's floated in, knocked down though by Egypt, and then the Lions get cleared. And that is the half-time whistle. And an excellent first half between the two sides takes both in at 1-1. And what a start it was to the half. Saber opened the scoring inside 5 minutes. It was a lovely ball, just floated in from the right-hand side, knocked down and just cushioned in towards Salah. Took it onto his left to force the goalkeeper Beravan into a save. He could only push it out to his right-hand side, and Saber, with the strike from the edge of the area, sent it through a gaggle of players to give Egypt a very, very early lead. It looked comfortable for the opening few minutes. A penalty was then given after Abdelmanim gave away the penalty and then went off injured as well. Taremi stepped up, tried to get his 60th goal for country, but the Olympiacos man had his shot denied by Chaubert, but it didn't last long, as 2 minutes later parity was restored. Good work again down the left-hand side. Mohammedi found the pass in off Moehebi, drove a little bit more central, tried to curl one into the bottom corner. Chaubert got down ever so well, pushed it towards his left-hand side, but in came Rezani from an incredibly tight angle and just hammered it into the roof of the net. For the rest of the first half, it was end-to-end. both sides trying to go for the win. They know as it stands they're both going through, and at half time it's Egypt 1, Iran 1. And welcome back to the second half. As plenty of changes are being made. Iran will be making one change with Kanani coming off for Hardani at the back. Just there, one change in the first half. There's two changes as well being made by Egypt with Sabeh, the goal scorer, who will be coming off for Marwan Atiyah, and a short on the left hand side will be making his way off for Marmoush as well. So plenty of changes as both sides try to shore themselves up, try to find the breakthrough as well. And the Manchester City man, Marmoush, in his 51st appearance for his country, City special young forward. And Salah's co-star, Canada called, but he chose Egypt instead. And he's on for the second half after being dropped for Trezeguet. Started this game, and Atiyah, the other man, who has made his way on, plays for Al Ahly. Dreamer in midfield linchpin. He's technically tidy and emotionally tough as well after personal loss. And what a moment it could be for him to help see his country through to the knockout stages. Eman Ashur, his Al Ahly partner, coming off. He's from a footballing family, but he won't take any part in the remainder of this game. And in the middle, Mahmoud Sabeh, who's on a yellow card from that first half, wanting to avoid that as Iran tried to start this first half second half quicker than Egypt started the first half. Wherever you're listening from in the world, make sure you are watching through your local network provider. We'll provide you with the off-tube independent commentary. Watch the pictures through them and we'll give you the sound as inside the opening 60 seconds. I'll give you the teams in a moment or two. Once Iran wants to sort of move the ball away on the back line. Hossein Kanani also on a yellow card from that first half. He's outspoken, he's powerful, very short in the headlines. Iran tries to put the ball towards a box, and it's beautifully dealt with at the back in the end from Hani. But what a cross through the corridor of uncertainty. Iran playing plenty of pressure out to the goal scorer and coming back towards the edge of the area. Then a snapshot just puts it over the top of the bar from Ezzatullahi. And Iran have the tails up at the start of this second half. And I'll quickly run you through the team. So Choubet for Egypt is in goal. Hani Ibrahim, who came on for Abdelmoumene in the first half because of injury, is at centre half alongside Rabia, and Fatou is the left back. Coming on then at half time is Atiyah for Sabeh alongside Lachine. Zico, Salah and Marmoush will sit and provide attacking intent just behind Trezeguet. And for Iran, it's Beranvand in goal. Goal scorer Rezayan is the right back. Mahamadi is the left back. More of a wing back role than anything else in that back five. Hardan, Khalilzadeh and Nemeti, who's on a yellow card from the first half. As is Ibrahim, who came on for Egypt. Godos, Gordani and Ezzatullahi are the three behind Taremi, who missed the penalty inside the opening 10 minutes. And Moebi, the number 8 for Iran, plays his trade in Russia with Rostov. Huge return from limited caps. He's charged from friends of Gadi, top scorer of it. For Iran's equaliser against New Zealand. And I'll keep you up to date with the scoreline between New Zealand and Belgium. 1-0 it is to Belgium. That's 2 minutes ahead of this game. And Belgium still lead by a goal to nil there. They came out for the second half a little bit later, a little bit quicker, despite the fact they ended the first half after our game here in Seattle ended that first half. But what a first half it was, especially inside the opening 15 minutes. And we're 45 minutes away from seeing which of these two sides will be able to go through. Both go through to the round of 32. The nerves starting to settle in as the game will go on. Down the left-hand side for Egypt is Fatou. Tries to put a cross in towards the box, but what a wonderful first touch. That was under pressure from Mahamadi. At the back, he just took it down. and just moved it across towards the left-hand side, but giving it away in towards Salah. Last man you want to put it into as his cross towards Trezeguet on the left-hand side of the box was just snatched at as Belgium have a second goal against New Zealand. New Zealand heading home, Belgium heading for top 2 finish. Because of the draw between Belgium and Egypt, if Belgium do need to score another 2 goals, apologies, to go above Egypt, and that is what they will try and do in this second half. There's so many implications that this group has as the group stages start to wind to a close over today and tomorrow. It is all going to chop and change. Sides heading home, sides going through. History has been made multiple times in this tournament, and history will be made for one of these two sides as well. It's guaranteed one will be going through to the next round for the first time, leaving the group stage for the first time ever. We mentioned before Egypt were in the round of 16 in 1934, but there was no group stage at that point. Any reference I make to making the next round for the first time is simply because they've never got out of the groups at all. But 2-0 Belgium lead, 7 minutes into the second half, and Trossard gets his second. His first was poked home from 2 yards out. His second a little bit further as well. 1-1 though it is the score line here. Egypt top the group with 5 points. Belgium second, 2 goals behind. Apologies, if Belgium score one more, then Belgium will top the group because of the goal difference. They're both on +2, Egypt and Belgium. So if Belgium get a third goal against New Zealand, they will go above Egypt in the table, in which we will have another side that's leading and been in second place. So far we've had 2 teams that have been in second position and third position. If Belgium score another, it'll be changed for a third time in that second spot, which is a spot that both sides would want to have. They've got Australia next, whereas top spot in this group has a little bit more of a tougher route, likely potentially even the likes of Switzerland, likes of Portugal as well. As down the right hand side, pulled back in towards Trezeguet, but he just can't beat the Iranian defence. A wall of a back line from Iran, and it was the man who's just come on, Salahadan, who just cut across, and the 27-year-old getting his body on the line to close down that shot from Trezeguet. He looked like he was just going to tuck it home into the bottom right-hand corner of Bervan's goal. But what a block that is from the centre half. And he's come in to do a job, and he's done it there from half-time. There's a lovely ball in from Salah from the corner. It can't quite be met by the Egyptians and goes out for a goal kick, and head are in hands for those Egyptian players. It was a wonderful ball from Salah. You've seen many, many times over the years. 2 players coming together. The substitute Ibrahim was getting away in front, in the way in front of Lachine, who was just charging in from behind. But Lachine, the latter, couldn't quite get his head on target. And Sam Hassan, the coach, looks on. He's quite happy seeing Mo Salah also take corners. Salah just 2 goals behind his coach's all-time record for his country. How he would love to close that down by more today. If they can get themselves through, as if they currently are top of the group, he may well break it during this tournament, and what a moment that would be for the Egyptian king. And this is his 117th appearance for his country. Got 13 goals on the domestic stage for Liverpool this season. People said it was a bad season for him. Still had a number of assists to his name as well. But at 34, he will be moving on MLS is a potential option for him. Saudi Arabia is another. Could also find his way into Serie A, which, age of 34, is a Serie A 23. They love bringing in the older players. There's a Jamie Vardy going to Cremonese and then moving across. I think, I can't quite remember which Spanish team he has moved across to. Forgive me for that. It's got no relevance to either of these two sides, but it's just showing Mo Salah could well still do it in the likes of Serie A. As Iran win a free kick 15 yards inside their own half. We're 9 minutes gone into the second half. It's still Egypt 1, Iran 1. Since that second goal's gone in, it's just settled itself down, this game, after what was a very frantic opening 15 minutes. And this second half has started with Egypt a little bit more in control. And Iran just trying to swing that momentum into their favour. And it's with Boravant, who's under no pressure. No one in red is closing him down. And it almost feels like both of these two sides are happy with this result at this point. As the long ball goes towards the edge of the Egypt area, the referee's going to play advantage to Iran. He said the free kick went their way. Snapshot from 30 yards out, easily dealt with by the Egyptian defence. And now the referee asked for the ball to be put down, as Zico is still down and holding his leg. And after he could have given away a free kick there, I think he's just doing it out of trying to show the referee it wasn't intended. And if anything, I think it did look more like it was going to be more of a coming together than anything. Both players have got a foot up, both connect with each other. And he is back to his feet. Here's Zico for Egypt. And it will end up being a drop ball that goes Iran's way. They did put the ball out over on the far side of the pitch, but the referee had already stopped play, so we will have a restart with a drop ball inside the centre circle then with Iran. Just passing it between themselves, trying to just work it down the flanks and probe this Egyptian defence. And in probing, they give the ball away, and charging forward is Mamouche, getting his first real impact on the ball, driving down the left-hand channel, tucking it back onto his right, can't quite then turn back onto his left, and just ran into a crowd of trouble and gives away the ball, and then gives a free kick as well. As Touahi, who's been in the wars in this game, has gone down again under a little bit of pressure, and it's got that feel of it at the moment, this game, that it's going to see a little bit of unsporting sort of injuries that do take place, which we've seen over the years, even with the decisions that the referees can make about speeding things up. As Egypt will make a change, and it will be Mo Salah. Osam Hassan has seen enough, and he won't allow Salah to get close to his record this evening. And Ahmed Sayed Zizou makes his way on for the Egyptian king. The Al Ahly man, his 65th appearance for his country. The controversial Zamalek to Al Ahly switch. Clinical wide threat to one of Egypt's best domestic forwards. Makes his way on. 8 goals for him in the league this season, joined by Omar Mamouche's 9 he got for Manchester City to come on. But Mo Salah makes his way off. He could be very important in the next round. As it stands, they will be making their way through, and as it stands as well, so will Iran in that third place teams. If they draw here, they will be but through to the next round. They might have to sit and wait. As Croatia, Algeria and DR Congo all win, it would knock Iran out as things stand. But that requires a few things to happen against them there. For the likes of Algeria, well, they are slowly dropping down. South Korea are sitting in 8th as it stands as well after back-to-back defeats. Scotland now in 10th after sitting in 2nd place in that round, in that 3rd place table. And their 3-0 defeat to Brazil threw them down the ladder. The worst goal difference of all the 3rd place sides is the reason why Iran with 0 goal difference, 3 better off than Scotland is what the difference could be to going through and going back home. Uruguay, they are out. DR Congo on 1 point, have a game against Uzbekistan. 2 teams on the debuts in this tournament. 2 teams hoping that they could get a win in this tournament as well. Congo might be the favourites for that. They came through a qualifier against Jamaica, only just could find themselves going through as well. And South Korea, after a really good start to the competition, could find themselves out. But Iran just trying to feed it through down the right-hand side. A tackle goes in, it goes Egypt's way. It was another late challenge, this time from Godos, and are coming together. Taremi tries to pick up Ibrahim as well. And it was just a bit of a body check as well. Godos got himself between man and ball and then followed through with the hips. And we've seen it a few times in this game. Both sides putting their bodies on the line. And it is a free kick. And Ibrahim certainly has come off a little bit worse out of that. 15 minutes then gone inside this second half. You can watch the games through your local TV providers. We'll bring you the sound. They'll bring you the pictures as well. Who will go through? Will it be both? Will it be one? As it stands, it's both teams that will be making their way through. They don't seem to be giving too much love lost. It's not quite the same as the Australia-Paraguay game, where both knew that with a draw they would both be going through to the next round. Both of these two sides want to knock each other out. Egypt cannot go out, though, as it stands. If they were to lose, 4 points would still be enough for them to go through. They would just go through in 4th place. Iran would be out if they were to lose. That is the implication that we are currently dealing with. Egypt and Belgium sitting in the top 2 automatically. Iran in 3rd. Still not safe for them just yet. They might take a point because it gives them a really good opportunity. With just 3 teams able to get ahead of them. And they're that 3rd team that are highest. 3rd team off the bottom of the 8. One on the bubble at the minute is South Korea. Egypt have the ball. How they would love, though, to put themselves through with 2 wins in this group stage. Down the left-hand side towards Trezeguet. Trying to chase after him. Looks like he's just running through Treacle for the time being and just has to bring it back towards Fatou, who's playing a little bit higher from that left-back role. Got a little bit more central halfway inside the Iranian half, but they'll go back towards the halfway line instead. Back in towards Fatou. Space to move it down the left-hand side. He turns and finds that passing towards Mahmoud, who's come back to just try and get hold of the ball. Now Salah has gone off. He will probably be the man that is trusted to try and control this game for Egypt. Nice turn for Trezeguet on the left-hand side of the penalty area, a yard or so off it. Pulls it back in towards Mahmoud, who drives down in towards the left-hand channel, brings it back, and then the shot takes a deflection and goes onto the roof of the net. And it was a substitute, Zizou, who tried to have a shot from the edge of the box, took a wicked deflection. He went higher than Bob Marley, but landed on top of the roof of the net, and for a moment, Berevan was just watching that intently to see where that ball was going to land. In this stadium, all over the bar, gets you a few points on the board in America's favourite sport. Football, it's called over here. But they very, very rarely actually use their feet. Hand egg, as it really should be known. But it's the soccer tournament, as they would say, that lights up the world. This major competition is like absolutely no other sporting event in the world at any stage, at any time. There's currently the tennis going on in England, and nobody ever bothered about Wimbledon when this tournament is on. All eyes turn, at least for me anyway, back home. The long ball again comes down the left-hand side. Lovely little instep from Mamouche. Just drives it towards the left-hand side. Gets a little bit of a shove in the back, and the referee's going to bring it back for a free kick. And Shojak. Alizadeh frustrated with himself there. He just got himself in a little bit of a muddle and just goes into the back of Marmoush, who says thank you very much as he goes down to the ground. And wins a free kick in a very dangerous position for Egypt. They've built many a structure over the year in their wonderful country. How they would love to build a lead here. Is a lovely ball towards the far side, driven back across the box and then met ever so well inside the area by Nemeti just to clear it out for a corner kick. But what a ball it was from left to right to feed it in towards Lachine, who just about kept it in. It was Attia, the substitute, who put it across the box. The keeper scrambling across with it, as well as Mehebi trying to do some defensive work. But great work from Lachine to get there before it goes out, to drag it across, then just put out a play for a corner. Set back in towards the box, to the edge of the 6-yard box. Dealt with by the Iranian defence. Bounces once, twice, and now Iran will try and clear it. It's now over on the left-hand side, but there's nobody running ahead of Mohammadi, but he's run into a bit of trouble and gone down. Sorry, Taremi. And I thought he might have won the free kick, but it looks like it's gone the other way instead. I'm hoping it's gone to Taremi because he was shoved in his back, straight in towards Hani. And then he's protested. And it did go the way of Egypt, which I'm not too sure the referee's made a good call there. But I tell you what has happened. Belgium do have a third against New Zealand, and it's Kevin De Bruyne on the 67th minute. 3-0 Belgium lead, which means as it stands, Belgium go top of the group. As that is being shown on the scoreboard here. So Belgium top the group. They're now above Egypt on goal difference. Egypt in second, the third side we've seen in second place in this game. Iran was first, Belgium second, now Egypt. Iran remain in third, which means if Iran score, they will finish second in the group and guarantee themselves. But here comes Mahmoud to try and see it off. Can't quite find the pass through. Excellent recovery work from Hardan at the back to get there in step first before Trezeguet got there in the first attempt, and then whilst he's falling down on the second. A change will be made with Godos coming off for Iran. The Al Ittihad man, Sweden-born, Heroes legacy player, helped Iran's famous 2018 Morocco win. And he's come off for Morkan Lou, the Kalba man, 21st appearance for his country. It was a shock call-up. My famous Zanzan. Iran go direct. He could be that blade in the box. He makes his way on in this second half. 23 minutes to play. As it stands, both of these two sides are on the brink of the next round. Egypt will qualify. Iran will still have to look out for a few more results, but will all but secure their place. Belgium lead by 3-0, move Egypt down into second. How will that affect this Egyptian side? As it stands, Egypt will go and play Australia now in the next round. Iran will likely have Switzerland as it stands. And again, it all can still change in the next 20 minutes or so. Both sides would love to win this one. Both sides would love to do it automatically. And here comes Mahmoud down the right-hand side. Tries to go for the strike. Deflected wickedly on the way through and out for a corner kick. And he's added plenty of pace and attacking threat since coming on. An excellent battle in the midfield. He just bullied off Taremi and Rezain. Drove towards the edge of the area, getting past the right back as well in Hardan, and forced an excellent defensive work from Khalilzadeh inside the box. Just get the deflection, and before the corner kick can be taken, we will go to the second half's hydration break. In Egypt, who came through the CAF qualification with defensive control and Salah's production at the heart of the attack. They only conceded 2 goals in 10 qualifiers. Salah scored 9. Iran, well, they qualified from the Asian third round qualifying after a 2-2 draw with Uzbekistan and arrived at a 7th major tournament, still looking for a first ever knockout stage appearance. And as it stands, they're in a very, very good position to do so. Egypt's route felt controlled, Iran's route felt secure on the pitch, but the build-up around the finals has disrupted them more than anything. They weren't allowed to stay in the United States. They forced to fly back to Mexico after every single game that they have been playing. They've been very harshly treated. Got the travel admin issues around the movement and their Mexican base. Heleno Wise pushed the public message back towards football and just trying to make Iranians back home proud. And they could make them very, very proud. 3 games so far, no losses yet on American soil. The game also taking place over Pride weekend. FIFA have said that the rainbow flag will be allowed inside the stadium, while both Egypt and Iran both objected before the start of the match and saying that they will walk off should they be subjected to FIFA-led initiatives, although I haven't seen really anything happening inside the ground whatsoever before the start of the game. Before the start of the game, all the flags were taken off the pitch. Every game normally has the country's flags on the pitch, the national anthems of the team around the centre circles. Not for this one. Both teams, just the starting 11 in the centre circle. It almost feels a bit American sporty after this hydration break as we go straight to a set piece. That might be what the majority of the tactical conversation was on the side, was how to actually deal with this set piece to start with. Expanded tournament leads to plenty of drama, which we are seeing in these group stages. I'm not a big fan of head-to-head, but right now Iran have a corner to defend and Egypt want to get that top spot back again. Zizou stands over the corner from the far side, sent towards the 6-yard box, dealt with on the first attempt, and the second headed back the wrong way from Iran, but then just hacked away towards the halfway line. Hydration break is over. 18 minutes to go plus stoppage time in this game. Belgium leading by 3-0, 15 minutes to go in that one. Down the left hand side is Trezeguet once more, can't quite find the passing towards the 6-yard box, and Egypt are on top now in this second half. They're trying to turn the screw, they're trying to find a winner, and they're trying to send Iran home and help the other sides that are in that third place bundle as well. And as it stands, this is what both sides would have wanted despite Belgium's result. He makes history, and that is all that matters for these two sides. As the ball goes down the right hand side for Egypt and the free kick goes Iran's way. It was Zizou who just came in and completely missed the ball, taking a piece of Mohammadi. At the same time, he's been excellent coming in at that left back role, that fast combative left back. He's in form after a positional drift and a return to his childhood club of Persepolis back in his home country, and his 77th appearance. The 32-year-old, but he's been absolutely wonderful down that left-hand side, putting plenty of pressure both in the attack and defensively as well. Local time here, it's just coming up to 20. 22:10 in the evening. We have 17 minutes left on the clock. Change will be made for Egypt, their fourth change, with Abdel Karim just warming himself up on the near side. The referee, though, not quite ready for him just yet, as the ball's sent in. He's asked for the throw-in to be taken. Iran win it back just inside their own half and move it towards the left-hand side, trying to drive a little bit more centrally in towards the middle, but two Iranian players just getting each other's way, but coming out of it is Gordani to steal it off as Ezatuali. Moves it across towards the right-hand side, looking for the pass of Rezain, but he just can't quite find the pass, and then the free kick goes Egypt's way, and it was a poor pass in towards Rezain, and he just had to go and win the ball back again. But in doing so, committed the foul. As Infantino is shown on the screen here. Not too warmly welcomed by the fans in the stands. You can understand why. As Iran have the ball once again. Now they're trying to swing the momentum back into their own favour. Down the right-hand side with Harder. Tries to whip it in towards the box, but it's dealt with ever so well. Back out towards Trezeguet, who just turns his man and now can start driving down the left-hand side into the Iranian half. Lofts the ball towards the far side. A little knockdown and header, and then a wonderfully cushioned header back towards the keeper. Beravand inside his own area. And it's excellent defending. Trezeguet was the target. But lovely work from Nemeti. And then Gudani just to link up and then just tuck it back in towards the goalkeeper, who isn't being closed down by anyone in red for the second time in this game. And they'll move it across again towards the right-hand side. Iran happy to take their time with it. Egypt happy to allow them to take their time as well. Egypt won't want the consequences of conceding, and neither would Iran. But Iran down the right-hand side would love to score. Sending it towards the box. Excellent defending. Goes back in towards the area. The keeper comes out. Iranian player goes down. There's no real shout for a penalty, but still with the whites on the edge of the area. Shot comes in. Deflected back out again. Second attempt to go to the left-hand side. Still not just about dealt with, though, on that occasion by Egypt. It's sent high in towards the area, then comes off an Iranian head and out for a goal kick. And Shubir in the goal on that occasion. He took out more of the man than he did the ball. And now the change can be made for Egypt. As off comes Mustafa Ziko, the Pyramids man, in his fourth game for his country. 3 goals in 4 for him. He had to mature early. He scored on his debut against New Zealand. He gave Egypt the equaliser that turned their tournament as well. The 29-year-old, a late bloomer in the national side, makes his way off. And on comes Hamza Abdel Karim, the Al Ahly Barcelona B man, the Egyptian Haaland as he's known, the young 18-year-old first Egyptian in Barcelona, set up a teenager wild card if Egypt need a body in the box, and that's certainly what they'll be hoping for as this game winds down. Can they find a little young hero here as the ball comes in towards the box, headed out towards the edge of the area and then flicked back on, picked up though by Mamouche, trying to turn on to his left but just loses out of possession on the edge of the box towards Hardan. Now down in towards Morganlu. Tries to shift it across the left to the left-hand side towards Mohammadi, who then loses out on the ball and then looks like he's going to give a free kick away instead with a little late slide tackle coming in on Zizou. But the referee happy to allow play on as Egypt have the ball. 12.5 minutes to play in this game. Is there another twist in this contest? Can either side find a winner? A lovely pass down towards the right-hand side, but a poor first touch from the Egyptian wide man that has just come on. Gives the ball away, but it's only just cleared out into the stands, and it will still be Egypt who can attack. Fatou, 10 yards inside the Iranian half. Moves it across towards the left-hand side, but intercepted once again, and not quite captured on that occasion by Hardan. And out for a throw-in halfway inside the Iranian half. Egypt get on with the game and take it back into their own half, and just like when the Iranian keeper has the ball, and the Egypt back line has the ball as well, Iran not too willing to commit too many players forward. The time is certainly in their favour at the moment for both of these two sides. They want to play for a draw. I wouldn't be too surprised here. It guarantees both sides may make the next round. An Iran goal confirms both teams will make the next round, but he puts Iran above Egypt, and Egypt certainly won't want that. But how do you play this? It's all about who you play in the next round, your opportunities. As a tackle goes in the middle of the park and Egypt come out better of it. Marmoush now trying to drive and run through the gaggle of bodies as Atouali can't take him, but he then does bring him down. And the free kick goes Egypt's way. And as Atouali, after a number of challenges, finally goes into the referee's book. The Shabab Al-Ali man, his 84th appearance. The Spain 2018 offside goal nearly made him immortal in Iranian history. He now just brings a bit of tall, elegant, deep midfield balance to this side. And if they were to go through, Atouali will miss the next round because of the bookings he has received during the group stage. Egypt send the ball forward, but he goes out of play for a goal kick. And it is starting to wind down this game, and it has that feel that both sides are relatively satisfied with the result as well. Nervousness, though, inside the ground is still palpable. Egypt know that they are going through. They will be in the round of 32 no matter what. They will be making their own history. Iran could make history tonight, or they may just have to wait another 24 hours to find out if they will make their own history in a tournament that was stacked against them from the moment they qualified. Trying to make their way forward. Given away, though, inside the centre circle. A little pass towards Trezeguet. He's about 10 yards behind him. He's got to retreat to try and just about keep it in, though. Gives it away on this near side. Then puts a tackle in, and he'll be very lucky not to go into the referee's book. Playing advantage, though, after the slide tackle in on Rezani, who's now back on the ball. Tries to put a cross in towards the box, and that is a very lazy cross from deep and goes straight out of play for a goal kick. And if the referee doesn't come back across and book the Egyptian, I would be rather surprised on this near side. And, well, call me surprised because he hasn't booked the Egyptian. And they have made all 5 changes, Egypt, and they might have a little bit of a problem here. As down on the pitch is Fatou. Lachine is trying to get him back to his feet, but with 8.5 minutes to play, he's looking rather uncomfortable and unable to continue. Could Egypt be down to 10 men inadvertently at the end of this game? Hussam Hassan is screaming instructions at his players. He's screamed over the substitute Abdel Karim. But at the moment it is a nervy moment to see if Fatou is able to continue or not. He has got up, but he's holding that left hamstring, and that is not what you want to see if you are Egypt in the latter stages. But what you would want to see if you are Egypt is that New Zealand have scored a goal. It's New Zealand 1, Belgium 3, which means Egypt go top of the group once again. It's all chopping, it's all changing, and Egypt go back to the summit of Group G thanks to a New Zealand goal. And it's Elijah Just with his 3rd goal of the tournament. And that might just about do it, if you'll pardon the pun, for Egypt to be able to go through exactly where they would want to be, top of the pile. Belgium now sitting 2nd on 5 points and the same goal difference, but 1 goal less. Iran in 3rd on 3 points, still occupying the all-important place in the 3rd place teams. Back underway with Mamouche, tries to float in towards the far side. Excellent header to just beat the man. It's almost given away inside the box again, though, by Iran. And we're at that point of the game. Nerves are setting in. Players are making mistakes, but they're getting away with it, and they're getting rather lucky. that they haven't given it away once more, but they have now given it away on the edge of the area. Then a long-range effort comes in this time. Just dragged wide from Lachine from 20 yards out. But it was a quick break down the left-hand side. Abdel Karim just fed in Mamouche, driving towards the left-hand corner of the penalty area, just floated one to the far side of the box. It was wonderful defending at the back from Nemeti. Then the clearance was completely mistimed from Khalizadeh, which fell to an opportunity for Lachine. He couldn't get his shot on target. And it has been shown in the ground that Egypt are back top of the pile. And in fact, they're no longer top of the pile, as Belgium have a fourth against New Zealand now. And if New Zealand were now to score, it would go on, I think it goes on cards, to which Egypt would go above Belgium, because Belgium had a man sent off against Iran in the last game. So if there's another goal now in the game between New Zealand and Belgium that goes New Zealand's way, Egypt would go back to the top, because they would have the same goal difference, the same goals scored, the same goals conceded, and it would be based on that red card that Belgium had against Iran, and it could be that decisive to win this group. It was Ngoy, the man who was sent off, but at the moment it is going Belgium's way. It's changed once more. They sit top of the group with 3 minutes to go. Lukaku getting a goal for Belgium, but here with 5 minutes to play, just less than 5 minutes to play, both of these two sides are very, very nervous. The frantic opening 15 minutes that led to an interesting first half has so far led to a little bit more of an unsure second half, some challenges flying in across the pitch. It's been a game that's treated both sets of fans, and Iran could well be the second side of the evening that could find their way through without picking up a win, and would be just one of two sides to do that. Cape Verde finished second without a win. Uruguay losing to Spain, the reason they went out. And Iran could find themselves with 3 draws in the next round. But at the moment, 1-1 it is here with 2.5 minutes to go. Belgium lead by 4 goals to 1. Egypt with the ball inside the centre circle, just inside the Iran half, but the referee gives a free kick against Egypt. I'm not too sure what for on that occasion. It looked like it was fairly won, but I think it might have been a handball actually on the Egyptian. Attia, who just bounced once in front of him as he just tried to turn and push it towards the right-hand side of the pitch. Iran won't be in a rush to take this. They're quite happy with this result. I think Egypt are also relatively happy with this result as well. Egypt know that they will be through, no matter what happens now. There's no way that they can go out even before the start of the game, even if New Zealand won and Iran won. New Zealand couldn't go above Egypt, which is why they surely have to change the head-to-head rule back to goal difference. Granted that New Zealand would have had to have had a 4-goal turn against Egypt for that to have taken place, but you never know in football. New Zealand will be losing their second game in back-to-back games. It took 40 years for them to lose one. Incredibly, they were the draw specialists, and how they would have loved to have had their typical three draws go their way this time around to make it through to the next round. It looks like 3 points just about might save some sides. 4 points is guaranteed down the right-hand side. It's going to be an Iran corner. It just comes off the substitute Zizou last. It was good work down the left-hand side by the Iranians. And then Zizou just couldn't quite get his feet right and comes off them. And now we're 90 seconds plus stoppage time to go. Is this a moment for Iran to make history? The goal scorer, Rezin, stands over it, sends it in towards the box, and it's headed off the bar. It's almost glory for Iran. The referee has given a free kick anyway against Iran as the keeper came out for it. I don't think it really should have been a foul in this day and age. Keepers get everything. Taremi rose highest, but I think he's the man that has come off last. Has flicked it on off the crossbar. I think if that would have found its way in, that would have gone to VAR, and I'm not sure that would have been given as a foul against the keeper. The keeper's flopped himself to the floor under pressure, and heads in hands for the Iranian coach. And that could well have been the moment. Well, it couldn't have been the moment because it was given against the foul, but you never know. Had that have gone in, and Galanoe sits there trying to enjoy the final few minutes of this game, but he is nervous, as are all the fans in this ground, all the Iranians in particular. Iran will make one final change, bringing off the goal scorer Rezayan, and then bringing on an attacker in Ali Reza Jahan Baksh. Third change for them, plays for Denda, making his 100th appearance for the national team. He's a well-travelled former Eredivisie star, still capable of impact moments and self-appreciating, big-nose humour as well from his days at Brighton. And now he will eventually still come on. 6 minutes have been added at the end of the game, and we still won't come on. The fourth official actually put the board up for the change, but hasn't allowed the man to come on just yet. Rezayan was taking too long. And for the second time in this game, the referee is having absolutely none of it. And the free kick goes Egypt's way, 10 yards inside the Iran half. Atia goes down. And now the change can finally be made. And actually, that's the reason why, is because Rezayan isn't coming off. It's actually Mohembi who is coming off instead. The fourth official getting his numbers wrong. And that is the reason why the substitute took a little bit longer to be made for Iran there. 5 minutes to go of the 6 that have been added on. Mohembi, the Rostov man, makes his way off instead of Rezayan. And Jahan Baksh makes his way on for his 100th appearance for the 32-year-old. Belgium still lead by 3-2. They've got 60 seconds left of 4 minutes added on. We've got 4.5 minutes left of this game. It has implications across the entirety of this competition. It all but guarantees that Scotland won't progress. They have to rely on Algeria and Croatia both losing by a certain amount of goals. Algeria would have to lose by 2 to Austria, and Croatia would have to lose by 3 against Ghana for Scotland now to go through, and they'd have to hope that DR Congo do not get a win against Uzbekistan unless there is another twist and turn in this final few minutes, as Lashin will miss his next game as well, as he's committed a foul and then gone into the referee's book. The hard-working midfielder who helped Pyramids rise and faced injury to make this stage, and he ran with the free kick, put it in towards the box. The keeper's come flapping out. Opportunity to tuck it in for Iran, and they found the back of their net, and Iran will go through to the knockout stages for the first time in their history. What a moment for the Iranians. The keeper flapped at it, and Iran in stoppage time have turned a difficult week into a defining moment in their history. The team are all on the pitch. The Iranians in the stand are celebrating. Belgium have a 5th, and that means Egypt will be in 3rd place and Iran will go through automatically. What a moment for these Iranians. What a tournament, when the odds were stacked against them, when everyone said how could they possibly do it. When the President of America says we don't want you here, they said we are here and we are here to stay. The Egyptians protesting with the referee, but there's not a lot they're going to do about this, I don't think. We'll wait and see if there's a potential check going on, but with 2.5 minutes, it is kisses all round for the Iranians. The coaches, the players, they're on the pitch. He's got his cool glasses on. And I can't quite even see who tucked it away. Belgium have beat New Zealand by 5-1, a record World Cup, final record tournament goal for Belgium. And it was a free kick from the far side. Is there an offside in the build-up? On Khalizadeh? No, it was on the goalkeeper. It came back out. There's an onside there as well. There's no offside as it's come in. He's onside and it's been tucked away. It was Gordani who flashed the shot. The keeper came at it. He punched the back of the head of Ezzat Ali. There'll be no foul on the goalkeeper. Came back out towards the number 21, Gordani, the versatile defender. His first shot was blocked. It then sat back to Khalizadeh for his third ever goal. Shoja means brave, and just like he plays it, that no-nonsense defending, brave when it mattered. There's a VAR check, there's 90 seconds to go in this game. They are checking. I think they're checking for offside more than anything. It can't be surely on a foul on the goalkeeper. But is this the moment? What are they looking at here? The keeper punched it. Maybe. Is he offside because the keeper's come ahead of the last defender? So is the last defender actually the number 9 for Egypt? The goalkeeper, I don't think it's the last man there. Abdel Karim might be the last man. And it is offside. It's been ruled out. And that moment of history has gone against Iran. And after all the jubilant celebrations, they've got to find a way to pick themselves up and go again. From celebration to pain in moments for Iran. The goalkeeper is the luckiest man on the pitch, Zubair. He saved the penalty in the first half, and by coming out, supermanning it, and punching the back of Ezzat Ali's head, to which I'm sure VAR should really be pulling that back for a foul on the keeper anyway. Because he was so far out of his box, it meant that the second last man was Abdel Karim. And Khalizadeh strayed an inch or two just in front. He's been booked for taking his shirt off in the celebrations, which, poor really. That is from the officials. How can you book someone for a celebration of a goal? As the camera is still inside the area. Can they win it late on here? Down the right-hand side for Desi. What a block that is again. They've almost found a way through, but coming across was Ibrahim, the man who came on in the first half for an injured Abdel Moniem. Gets himself across and puts his body on the line and almost injures himself in the process as well. There's a corner kick coming over. Sent in towards the box, headed out. We're already a minute over the 6 played here at the end of this game. There's got to be another minute or so still to go. Iran trying to find a winner. Down the right-hand side, crossed it towards the area, and ice off the bar! What an end to this game! And Iran just cannot find the look. Shubir again, stuck on his line, didn't come off. And it just comes off the chest of Ezzat and onto the crossbar and over. Is that the moment? That is going to be, I think, the moment. But what an end to this game. It was a frantic start. It's an even bigger frantic end. And they've shown the replay for the offside here. And it is half a boot. Half a boot is the difference between Iran going through in second and Egypt going through in second. What an end to this game. Belgium topped the group. They won 5-1 against New Zealand. They will go through to the next round. Egypt need to score 2 for now, or 3 now for that to change. We're into the 8th minute of 6 added on. Egypt sitting deep. They just now need to preserve their position in second place. Iran could still go through. They're not quite out of it even with a draw. They sit 6th of the 8 teams in 3rd place. Croatia, Algeria and DR Congo still to play. All 3 win. Iran won't go through. How big is that moment? How big is that offside for both of these two teams? Egypt would have gone through regardless. That goal would have sent both sides through, but slightly different. We're coming up to the 9th minute. It's now surely do or die for Iran. There were 3 minutes waited after the goal. Over across the left-hand side. Do they have one more opportunity to put it into the box? Closing down ever so well is Zizou. And there's the full-time whistle. It's glory for Egypt. They make the knockout stage for the first time since 1934. And what a moment in their history. Iran in their 7th finals, sitting 3rd place on 3 points. And they know that they've got to keep an eye on 3 more games to see if they're going to go through. What a point that is for them. They almost won it at the end. And what a game we have just seen. Saber, in the first half, set this game off in motion. It was a wonderful ball from the right-hand side, played in towards Mo Salah, who took it down, moved it onto his left and forced the keeper into a save, who could only push it out towards Zubair on the edge of the box. And his shot went through a crowd of bodies to give Egypt an early lead. Taremi then was taken out by Abdelmonem inside the box up the other end 7 minutes later. Abdelmonem went off injured to bring on Ibrahim, and Taremi stepped up but had his penalty saved by Zubair well down to his left-hand side. They couldn't keep out Iran for too long, as 2 minutes later, Razien from the tight angle after good work from the left-hand side. The excellent Mohammadi, who had an excellent game from the left wing-back role, drove towards the right-hand side, forced the keeper, Zubair, into a save, put it onto a tight, very, very tight angle, but Razien came in and put it in to the roof of the net to level it for Iran. The first half then became a little bit more frantic between the sides. Neither could really test the keeper too much inside that first half, and then came a second half where it always seemed to look like it was going to be a draw until the 90th minute, when chaos ensued and Iran found the back of the net. The keeper in the 93rd minute, Zubair, came out, Superman the ball off his goal line, got himself all in a muddle. The shot that came in from Gordani fell in towards the centre half, Khalizadeh. He was off celebrating with his shirt off. At the same time, a VAR check was being held. Abdel Karim ended up being the last man because of that horrendous error by Zubair, and that is the luck that you need at this major competition, as it was ruled out for offside. And then moments later, the header from Ezzatullah rattled off the top of the crossbar. It was an excellent game. Egypt go through. They're in to the knockout stage for the first time since 1934, when they were in it only because there was a knockout stage. Since group stages have come in their 5th finals, they make the knockouts and finish in 2nd and will go against Australia. Iran in their 7th, well, they still have to keep an eye over their shoulder, but it's not over for them just yet, and they're in the best of those 3. But what a game it has been. It's finished Egypt 1, Iran 1. Goodbye.